Hi everyone, this is Virginia Hernandez with Century 21 All Stars, and I'm here today with Jaime Cermeno, a loan officer from U.S. Bank, and we're diving into a topic that many of you have asked me about, and that is land loans. Whether you're thinking of building your own dream home or investing in raw land, understanding how these loans work is key. Let's get started. Can you briefly explain what a land loan is and how it differs from a traditional home loan?
Yeah, thanks for having me, Virginia. A land loan is specifically designed for purchasing vacant land, whereas a traditional home loan is used to buy a house with existing structures. Land loans typically come with higher interest rates, shorter terms, and larger down payments compared to traditional mortgages.
Now, when it comes to U.S. Bank specifically, right? What types of land loans do you offer? Are there options for raw land versus improved land?
I currently offer a 3-year 3-1 ARM. It's a 30-year amortization loan. We offer land loans up to $300,000 with 20% down on improved land and 25% down on unimproved land. To give you a little background, improved land includes public sewer and water availability. Unimproved land will require a private well and septic installation. But one thing to keep in mind is lots larger than 10 acres are limited to 65% loan to value if improved and 50% loan to value if unimproved.
And when it comes to qualifying, what are the main requirements for a buyer to get approved for a land loan? Let's break it down, basically income, credit score, and down payment, if you don't mind, Jaime.
First of all, we do require a minimum credit score of 680. With the 680 score, the maximum debt to income ratio allowed on this program is 28%. And it's going to require 6 months reserves. So if your credit score can be up a little bit higher, up to 720, that DTI can get up to 43% and no reserves are required. The down payment guidelines I mentioned earlier remain the same as long as you have a 680 credit score.
Let's talk about the terms. What kind of interest rates? I know right now it's hard to really say, but the terms and the repayment structure, should buyers expect right now with a land loan?
Yeah, so rates are moving so constantly. So I recommend you call me to review rates. But currently we're offering a 3-1 ARM with a 30-year amortization. We can get it up to a maximum of a $300,000 loan amount with 20 to 25% down. Now, if you want to get up to a higher loan amount, we can get up to $750,000 with slightly more down, 35% down for improved land and 40% down on unimproved land.
Wow, that's great information. Jaime, can someone purchase land now and then come back later for a construction loan with U.S. Bank? Or do you recommend a construction to permanent loan from the beginning?
A buyer can purchase the land now and come back for a construction loan at a later time to build a single-family residence or a prefabricated manufactured home. However, a construction to permanent loan is ideal because it's one transaction, saving you from paying closing costs twice. The challenge is finding a seller who's patient and will allow you for a long enough escrow to take your loan out and complete your construction.
Great information. And finally, what advice would you give someone who is just starting to consider purchasing land? Any keys about the do's and the don'ts?
First, you want to make sure you're looking for eligible property. Those are typically going to be single-family resident lots, no condos, and you also want to watch out for existing structures on site. Those are not allowed. Only one loan at a time. Watch out for fraud with lot loans. Watch specifically for properties that are sell by owner. Those do cause 6 months reserve requirement. You may use a gift from a family member for funds to close. That most people are not aware of. If you got a family member who's willing to help, that is allowed. Subordinate financing is not allowed. Buyers of unimproved lots must plan for a percolation test. That's testing the soil for drainage for septic systems. If the property fails, an alternate system might be needed, which must be approved by the city or county.
Wow, fantastic information. Jaime, thank you so much for sharing your insight today. If you're thinking about buying land or building a home from the ground up, don't do it alone. Reach out to a trusted lender or a real estate professional. And I'm Virginia Hernandez, and I'd love to help guide you every step of the way with Jaime's assistance.
Thank you, Virginia.
Thank you, Jaime.
Thank you for the opportunity to share some information with you all this morning or this afternoon. Please do not hesitate to call me if you have any questions at all. My number is 310-876-4605.